Another one. This lady, she comes in and she tells me that the doctors have done some research and they did her blood testing, and this lady's really into health and wanting to know, make sure that she is doing, her body's good and everything else. And all of a sudden she's hitting the 60 range and she has these little breakdowns of her body and she's starting feeling a little bit bad and stuff. And so she goes and does a blood test, and the doctors told her that, well, you have a really high level, that IgG and IgM and these other levels of your blood, and you may have multiple myeloma. And that, of course, when you tell someone multiple myeloma, when it's affecting your immune system and it's really bad, well, then you know that immediately it's almost like a death sentence the doctors are giving you. And so if you're getting a death sentence from a doctor and, you know, in 3 to 5 years there's no cure for multiple myeloma, they just basically, you're gone and stuff. So they gave her a scare and told her they think she has multiple myeloma. And also they think, well, we're going to do a bone scan because we think it's also, we have cancer in your bones because of the different blood tests. So she decided, okay, let me look elsewhere, because immediately they said, let's get chemo in you and let's start doing chemo and stuff like that. And she was afraid of it and stuff, and she has a Bible class and they were all saying, well, what are you going to do? You better do what the doctors say, go get your chemo and, you know, get better and stuff. And she was thinking, well, how can I get better if I take chemo? Chemo doesn't make you better, it kind of makes you feel bad, you know, and stuff. So she was afraid of wanting to do chemo. So she found out about my machine. She comes in, she immediately signed up for 10 treatments and said, I'm going to go in on this thing and trust that this thing's going to do what it's supposed to do. It starts helping fight cancers and other things so that it can start helping. Well, so she gets on the machine, she's using it and everything else and stuff, and first week everything's going great. She feels better. She said, I'm back at the gym now working out a little bit, and she says, I think that I'm getting stronger and stuff, and she's really feeling good. Well, she also said, oh, by the way, I have shingles. Well, I did, but they're going away. And I go, well, you didn't write that down on the paper when you came in. That you just said, you know, you have a breast tumor, but you also maybe have multiple myeloma and maybe cancer, but you have this breast tumor, and that's why you came in, but then you didn't mention shingles. He says, well, yeah, because it was like, you know, I didn't think your machine would do anything to shingles. Those things are just there and they hurt people. Well, now she says, now it's just a pink spot back there and like it's going away. And I says, well, that's good. You know, let me write it down. Shingles disappearing. So anyway, but she still had this breast thing. What she did was that she would come in and she'd stand really close to the heat pads. And what I learned about this machine is the tumor in a breast tumor, it will actually show the size of the tumor, wherever it's cancerous. It'll show it, and it'll actually look, you'll see it on the surface of the breast. And when she did, she was able to take a peek and look and see the size of the tumor. And she said, oh, there it is. And she like measured it and said, yep, it's exactly what the doctor said it was. There it is, I see it. After the first week, she started saying, I noticed the red is going away. Is that good? And I go, well, yes, it's really good, you know, because it should actually start shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and that red completely go away. Now, so she, of course, kept standing here every treatment and stuff like that. So after 2 weeks, there's no more red. So she was like, is it just not showing now? And I said, no, the machine still shows if it's there. But what it's done is it's changed to scar tissue. And what that does is your immune system gets so strong that it originally turned into a tumor or a rounded oblong shaped thing to capture around the cancer. And so it captured the cancer in her breast, went around it and put stuff on it and stuff. Then it gradually works its way inwards and destroys the cancer that's there, and it finally was gone, and now it's just scar tissue. Okay. Now, she then says, well, okay, I still got this lump. Now, is that going to go away? And I said, well, it should, but we don't know how fast. We don't know what's going to take and stuff. And so she, well, in the meantime, she decided I'm going to go to the doctors and have more tests. they wanted to make sure about this multiple myeloma. Well, she went to the doctors, got her test results back, and I don't know if you can see this, but they put down for multiple myeloma, they put ruled out. Okay, now they ruled it out because her levels all are in the normal range, all dropped drastically. She has a good result. Also, they said, well, the bone marrow aspirate, which is where they did a test on it, in that one they said there was nothing, the B cell population was not detected. There was no loss of aberrant expression of pan-T cells. You know, there was normal appearing phenotypes. There was no evidence of aberrant myeloid. You know. So in other words, her test results came back. They said you don't have multiple myeloma, you don't have bone cancer, but you still have that breast one. So we still need to take it out. We need to do chemo. Let's do all this other stuff. She immediately still said, let me think about it. Let me get back with you, because she didn't want to tell them what she's been doing to make this all work and make things start helping her body instead of fighting against it. So now she goes in, and she had her left breast was diagnosed on May 14th of 2010 by Banner Health Baywood Medical Center. Now in that test, they measure and they check it and they do these things and stuff, and they want to do biopsy and everything else stuff. Well, they measured her breast tumor at 15 by 11 by 6 millimeters. They measured a second tumor at 7 by 7 by 4 millimeters. Now they were thinking the second one looked more like a cyst rather than breast tumor, rather than cancerous. So anyway, they told her, but we still need to get those out. We need to take care of them and stuff like that. Well, again, using my machine, she decided to not do those things. And again, this was back in May. Well, my machine wasn't available till the end of July, first part of August. So she didn't start coming in until August. And so when she came in, by then, the cancer should have been spreading, should have got bigger and all this other stuff. But she got her new results back when she just did an ultrasound on September 2nd. Today is September 8th. She got her result yesterday. And so September 7th, she gets the results from the blood test, from the ultrasound, and it said that 15 by 11 by 6 has now shrunk to 7.5 by 7.3 by 8.4 millimeters. This is a significant drop of 54%. The tumor is shrinking in her breast. And then the other one, the cyst, was 7 by 7 by 4, is now 6.3 by 2.2 by 4.1. So it's also altering its shape and shrinking down, and that's about a 30-something% drop in the cyst. And so, but again, 54% reduction of her breast tumor, just because of using something that wasn't available before now, and now it's available on the market, and that's called the Photon Genius. It's now available to people to use, and it is doing remarkable results.